Ready when you are.
Hi, my name is Shane and I made a pitch a 5-minute horror film called Trial of the Devil. The log line is, a man is convicted for the murder of his friends, but his defence is that he was possessed during the murder. But, obviously doesn't really go to plan, and after the judge sentences him to life in prison, his sort of quiet demeanour that he's had for the full sentencing breaks and he goes mental, and that's obviously him getting possessed again by the demon, and he attacks the judge. My inspiration was from The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. It's got quite a similar story, but I'm changing it a little bit. With this one, we saw, in the movie you see him get possessed, you see the crime that he committed. In mine, you sort of just see the aftermath. You don't see much of the courtroom in The Conjuring, which mine is going to be fully set in a courtroom. The Blair Witch, I want to emulate sort of the handheld sort of style, because I'm thinking I might add a scene later on of them showing the courtroom and sort of the jury, like on a screen like this, just being like, he actually filmed the entire event and here's the footage, and like it's just going to be like a couple of friends walking around like an abandoned building somewhere, and just something in the main guy snaps and he just ends up, you don't maybe not see the murders, but you hear it, and sort of you just get audience reactions, you get the jurors' reactions, you get the judges' reactions, and then that's when he gets sentenced. And then The Exorcist, just because it's a really good horror, classic horror, and it's obviously got the possession element in there. Sort of, I take movement and stuff like that from when, I forgot the main girl's name, but when she gets possessed, and then she obviously has very sporadic and really unnatural movements, I'd take something like that. There's the synopsis, so I'm not going to read the full thing, but I'll just be very brief. Obviously, a man is convicted and he's on trial. It opens up in the courtroom, no build up, just do with the gavel. The courtroom's brought to order. The judge is telling him about obviously what he's getting convicted of. The man's lawyer stands up and says, Your Honour, my client says he was possessed during this time. The judge is trying to wave him off, being like, why would we welcome the devil in? And then the lawyer says something back like, if we can put our hand on the Bible and swear by that, why can't we have the devil, you know, as another case of not being convicted, something like that. A bit smoother when I write the script, but something like that. And then the person who's trying to convict the man pulls out a little screen and says, well, the man actually recorded himself during the event, and then we get that recording on the screen. We see a little bit of it from people's POVs. I'm thinking we could do like some phone camera shots. I know you're not meant to have your phone or anything in a courtroom, but we can bend the rules a bit just so it looks, you know, we have a few more camera angles, maybe a security camera shot from up really up high, just to get another point of view. And then we sort of see everyone's reactions and stuff like that. He's sentenced to life in prison, and the entire time he's had his head down, with his hair covering his face, not really speaking, not really doing anything, and then he sort of bursts to life and starts to insult the judge, saying stuff about how his wife, who passed away recently, she's in hell, and she's one of the devil's favourites, and obviously the judge is screaming, hitting his gavel on the desk, saying this is order, this is outrage. And then he just lunges at the judge. Security runs in and then cut the back. I think the ambition is it's a little bit out there. I don't think anyone's really filmed in a courtroom before, but I was thinking that I know University of Sunderland and Newcastle Uni both have courtrooms. I mean, I've been in Sunderland Uni. I know they definitely have one.
All right.
And I've seen inside of it. So I was going to maybe, and I know a couple of people who go to each of them. So I was going to either email the uni, get in touch with them, ask if they might be available, if I could like have it for maybe a couple of hours to film, or I would get in with the people that I know, get them to maybe ask for me and get that, and then, but if that doesn't work out, I was thinking I could just either dress up a room downstairs on the bottom floor or in here, just to sort of look somewhat like a courtroom. It could even be, I could even change up the idea a little bit, and it'll be like a private hearing, just to sort of fit with the location. Don't think anyone's going to get injured really, so it'll be quite nice. I feel like the ambitions, again, like I said before, it's sort of I think it's very doable, but also I think it would look really good if it's pulled off, because it will be in a completely separate, you know, set, and it will be a lot different to what we used to and stuff like that. I think the audience will like it because it's a horror film. I think a lot of people really like horror films, and they love to just, you know, get scared a little bit. I feel like it ticks a lot of boxes for horror fans and stuff like that. You know, it's got the creepiness factor. It might have sort of an homage to classic horrors like The Exorcist and stuff like that, and then it's got the loads of different camera shots. I want to have a bit of fun with it as well. Yeah. Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, thanks, yeah. Well done.